As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Drop Sports with Jeff and Boone. It's Tuesday, September 16th, and we are back. Victory Monday. Had a great show. Appreciate all those that tuned in today. Now we're moving forward.
Victory Tuesday.
Victory Tuesday. We got
What's
Cory
so
Woods.
funny over there?
We got Cory Woods joining the show. Shout out to Cory Woods, man. He'll be joining us at 8:30. We have a Terrion Arnold discussion we need to get into. I think it's real. All right, I think it's real. And then Boone's got a question for the people and for myself.
It's kind of like a question. It's just kind of more so a conversational piece.
Or a conversation. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're also going to have a Jared Goff conversation as well.
Which is good. Yeah, great combo.
He's been balling. And then we have our NFL Power Rankings today. It is Tuesday. So Top 10 Tuesday. See with the Lions if they make the cut or not. Wow. I will see Boone's reaction to my top 10.
Did you have some crazy things in there?
I mean, it depends on who you're asking. To me, no, I don't think
I'm interested. Yeah. Last week, yours was horrid, I believe. I think the chat said it, not me. They were just like, Booners is clears. What's so funny over there? What are you laughing about? You've been giggling since we started the show. What are you giggling about over there, man?
Just having a good time. Yeah, I'm just having a good day, man. You know?
What's the giggling for?
I was listening to some let me just get this. I was listening to some Grover Washington Jr. before the show. Just the two of us.
Grover.
Yeah, dude.
I've never heard of Grover Washington. Should I know who Grover Washington is?
I get into these moods. I was listening to Bill Withers. Lean on me.
If I've heard if I've heard the songs, I'll probably know. If I hear them, I would know.
Someone in the chat knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, you know what? I'm in a good mood, you know?
Guys, listen to Big Grove. I didn't know Big Grove had a song.
Hey, I'm telling you, man.
Big Grove from the Indianapolis Colts. This guy's out here working, man.
Legend. Absolute legend, man. With Bill Withers, too, in that song, by the way.
Bill Withers is in the song, too. Was it the song you played when I hopped on?
Yep.
Yeah, good song. Great song.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you came in giggling, happy, man. There's something happening.
It sounds like Jeff got laid.
Something's going on with you.
So I can't. So, but listen. I show up. I'm happy. Apparently, I have to get laid for that, or what's going on?
No, you literally you opened the show. You were like
an ass. Or I have a resting like bitch.
No,
face.
dude, no. You opened the show just laughing. You were like, like I've never seen someone open a show doing that. So I'm like, what's so funny?
Just having a good day, man.
You have something to say?
No, I don't know. I'm being like I'm being interrogated for being happy. I don't know what's going on.
No, that's fair.
You know, I know, but I'm having a good day. I'm fired up, man. We got a good show scheduled this week. Like I feel like we got some good things this week going. You know, we got some. Tomorrow we got the doc as always, but we're also getting a Ravens content creator, host of Locked On Ravens. He's joining the show, so it's going to be fun. So well, and then we got Friday. We got Flannel Fridays. We got Caleb, so it's a good week, man. I'm fired up about it. And then this game day will be on Monday, of course. So nothing for Sunday. So Monday
it is. It's like a weird week, huh? It is a little.
And
bit
then next Tuesday we're live in the morning. So
yeah,
we're all live in the morning. The show, Crunch Up Sports Show, is live in the morning. So yeah, we got some things planned. And the Lions made some moves today too, Boone. They're already getting ready for the Ravens. It seems like, you know, and I have the full list of moves from the Lions Twitter. And one of those moves, they decided to sign. It says wide receiver Malik Cunningham, but he's probably going to play quarterback because they're going to get kind of that Lamar Jackson look with Malik Cunningham. But they released Monty Rice, who, by the way, played like one snap and got a penalty against the Bears. That was it. Placed tight end Shane Zylstra on reserve, injured. Yeah, we saw that because he had the injury in the Bears game. Signed offensive lineman Tristan Colon to the active roster from the practice
He's
squad.
back, baby. We've got a backup.
And then, Ross Dwelly, tight end, went to the practice squad as well. But Malik Cunningham, he played quarterback at Louisville, and they made him a wide receiver. But I'm sure the Lions are going to use him as a quarterback in practice.
I'm going to say, I mean, maybe, but
That'd be smart.
Maybe, but I think it is a little telling that when they tweeted it out, they said wide receiver. They didn't put quarterback.
Well, I've seen other outlets kind of do quarterback / wide receiver. I think that's what he's listed as, but he played quarterback. Okay. I don't know. It's not like they need more wide receivers. I mean,
no, I mean, he worked out with them. Like, I don't know if this was just for the Ravens because I think he actually worked out with the Lions weeks ago. So I think it was something that's already kind of been in the works. I'm pretty sure he had to work out with them a few weeks back.
Well, it's I guess a bonus then for the Ravens.
Yeah, it just the timing of it, everything kind of works out where he was in Baltimore last year and the year before for the last 2 seasons. I think he was just on the practice squad the whole time. So yeah, I think it's like a bonus that the fact that you're bringing him in, he probably knows a lot about that, that offense. So I'm sure him and Kelvin Shepard are going to have some sort of conversation the next few days about, hey, what does their offense look like? What are some of their calls? What are some things they like to do? I'm sure they have something, some meetings set up.
Well, I always wonder that with because fans say it's like, oh, they signed this guy just to get information. It's like when David Blau was signed to the Vikings.
Yeah,
at one time. I wonder how true that is. Like, as soon as they sign him, do they just run into the office and it's like, all right, let's just get to it, man. What do you want to know?
They probably have a playbook, I'm sure, and I don't know if they have the full playbook. I don't know how that works.
Because they have to turn in the playbook after their.
So I'm sure he goes in though, and they have a pretty long conversation about everything. Like those conversations happen. They do. I mean, I've never experienced it in college. We didn't have guys like mid-season going to. We didn't have a guy from Grand Valley coming over to us when we were about to play Grand Valley and be like, hey, this is what they do. That would be sick if that was the case. We didn't have a Connor. It's like having like 10% of a Connor Stallions.
Yeah, it's like they have that now in college because transfer portal. A guy will play at Alabama, transfer to Georgia or somewhere and be like, hey, that's what we were doing last year at Alabama. So it happens in the college football too. But yeah, I mean, I it's good because they don't have a quarterback that can simulate Lamar Jackson. I mean,
Kyle
there's
Allen.
Nobody. Unfortunately,
Kyle Allen.
He got a little bit of that white boy wiggle, but not enough to simulate one of the most elusive electric quarterbacks in the NFL.
He was running that thing in the preseason, wasn't he? He was moving a little bit.
He's got a little wiggle to him, but it's nice. It's smart. And yeah, I mean, we will get to our power rankings later because the Ravens are a very good team. So I can't wait for that matchup, dude. I'm so fired up about it. I wish it was. I'm happy it's Monday. Because it's just different. I love Monday Night Football. It's on its own, but I wish it was sooner. But I can't wait for it. I'm fired up. And then you have the next couple of games now with like the quarterback injuries, like Joe Burrow's out for the Bengals.
Yeah,
what I mean. It's getting schedule always looks a little different when you get into the meat and potatoes. Like now,
guys are missing like the Kyle Van Noy thing. Yeah. You play the Browns next week, where they don't even know what's going on in that building. That's one of the worst teams in football.
But Jake Browning, I mean, don't sleep on him.
For the Bengals?
Yeah, he ain't too bad.
Yeah, he's not too bad. I mean, he threw what? Like, didn't he throw like 3 picks the other day?
Yeah, he's not Joe Burrow, but he's not too bad. They put up 31 points, not with just Jake Browning.
I mean, Jamar Chase was just like get the ball to Jamar. He had like 15 catches.
Yeah, no, I almost lost to Mike in fantasy because of it. So
because of Jamar?
Yeah. But I ended up beating his ass. So shout out to Mike Gentry, man. Hold that L. Appreciate it. I got offered a trade in fantasy. How disrespectful is this in my other league? I got offered Justin Jefferson for Christian McCaffrey.
Oh. You have Justin Jefferson, I'm guessing?
No, I have Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, that's not that disrespectful. What are you talking about? I thought it was more disrespectful the other way around.
Dude, listen, you got Carson Wentz. He's probably going to feed him a little bit.
Justin Jefferson's like one of the best.
But he's been really quiet this year.
Not week 1, he wasn't that bad.
What do you do?
15.
I mean, at least Christian McCaffrey, he kind of is a PPR.
Yeah, that's fair. What has Christian McCaffrey been doing?
He's been pretty good. He got like 20-something points both games.
Oh, yeah, you keep him then. Never mind. Yeah. I did say it was Christian McCaffrey's fantasy year. A lot of people were like, don't draft him in the first round. Like, don't fall for it. I was like, and listen, for a guy like it's an every other year thing for Christian McCaffrey. He had his year off last year. He's healthy again. He's good to go. Now the fact that Brock Purdy's not in there, it's like they need him even more to step up. Dude's doing it. Like he's
doing it.
And they're 2-0.
Your boy.
Yeah, and they're 2-0. The two teams that I said watch out for just quietly on the back burner. Hey, just keep an eye on. These are quiet teams. The Indianapolis Colts, they're 2-0, and they have one of the best offenses in the NFL right now. And the 49ers, they lose Brock Purdy, and they still are out there winning football games.
Well, that's Kyle Shanahan, though, dude. He's such a great.
That was my point the whole time. They have the worst schedule of all time. The easiest.
They did it with Josh Dobbs. They did it with who was the other one? Nick Mullins. I think they won a game or two. Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy. They win with
Nick Mullins.
Not Nick. No, I think
you're thinking of the Vikings, dude. You said Josh Dobbs and Nick Mullins. That was the Vikings.
No, Josh Dobbs was on the 49ers, dude.
Did he play ever though?
Yeah.
Nick Mullins. I think you just.
No, you're thinking. You think Nick Mullins is only dude? He's been a journeyman. You realize he's been on other teams too, bro.
I don't think so, man.
Look him up.
Hold on, I want to look some of these things up real quick. Can we look? You look up Nick Mullins.
Was drafted by the Vikings and only played for the Vikings.
I mean, basically, dude. What? All right, Josh Dobbs last year played in 2 games for the 49ers, and he lost both. No, he actually played in 1. He lost to the Arizona Cardinals 47-24. So you're off on that one. So 0 for 1 for Jeff.
No, he played for them.
Yeah, but you said your point was you throw anyone in there, and Nick or Kyle Shanahan.
Well, maybe Josh Dobbs was in the best.
Josh Dobbs started 1 game and lost by 30.
Listen. Okay,
let me check Nick Mullins. Hold on. Hey, it's that game. What's the game called that all these networks do? New face, new place. Where's Nick Mullins right now? What team is he on now? Don't look at the chat either.
I don't know.
Come on, you got this, dude.
Seahawks?
Nope. Streams only said Raiders. Nope.
Cardinals?
AFC East, I believe.
Bills?
No, it's AFC South. Sorry. I got confused. Sorry. I got confused.
Throwing divisions at me.
AFC South.
AFC he's on the Colts?
No.
Is he Texans?
No.
Jags?
Jags.
He's on the Jags?
Yeah, Nick Mullins, shout out.
Did he play for the 49ers? Am I crazy?
Dude, no, you're not crazy. But the thing was, he played for the 49ers. Like, it wasn't like recently, like when they were good. He played there in 2018. He played in 8 games as a rookie. And he threw for 2,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And then didn't play in 2019, played 1 game in 2019. And then 2020, he started 10 games for them and threw for 2,400 yards, 12 and 12. Essentially. So I guess you're right, but like he started there 10 games, he won 3 games. He was 3-7 as a starter in 2020. So your whole point of like
it wasn't
plug anyone in.
No, I think what I was trying to say is he's done it with all types of different quarterbacks. I wasn't trying to say that every quarterback performs the same. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Because the guys you named.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Nick Mullins put up great numbers or Josh Dobbs. I just meant he's done it with all types of quarterbacks. He's literally maybe not one, but he's had all types of quarterbacks. I feel bad for Kyle Shanahan. He's never had like an elite quarterback. He's just had everyone else.
He's had one. Your guy.
Who?
Trey Lance.
No, that's who they thought was going to be really good.
that was your guy, man.
Yeah, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy. I mean, shit. Jimmy Garoppolo, Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs. You got now Mac Jones. I mean, they had.
Imagine Kyle Shanahan with like a Josh Allen.
Dude, it'd be nasty.
Joe Burrow. Oh my gosh. It kind of sucks because like their elite quarterbacks just don't move around a lot, to be honest. Like Stafford's like the only one I think that's moved. Is there Tom Brady obviously went to the Bucs, but like he was there.
Aaron Rodgers when he was 39.
Yeah, but it's like in their prime, like you just never see a prime quarterback that's like top 5 in the league ever just get thrown around and moved. It just never happens. They always get paid.
Yeah, they do.
So you'll never see Kyle Shanahan with one unless they draft one, probably.
Which it's going to be very hard to.
They tried with Trey Lance. They like really tried. They went all in on it.
Well, What's the question or the conversation you want to have?
Yeah, no, this is a simple conversation. This is just for the people, and this isn't even that big of a deal, to be honest. I want to just preface this, like, because we're having a Terrion Arnold conversation later. I would like to take Terrion Arnold out of this equation.
Okay.
I want to know from you guys, from the people, because we're finishing up this last game over the Chicago Bears, going into a pretty big matchup versus the Baltimore Raiders. One thing I was thinking about today, and because yesterday, Victory Monday, it was all positives, and I still want it to be positives. I wanted to get from you, Jeff, and the people can put it in the chat. We can read some of them off too. I want to, outside of, again, take Terrion away because we already are having that convo. I want to get a couple players from you that my thought process was, I was trying to think of players who it was such a good game. What players you felt like needed to step up even more for this team to keep moving forward? Because, again, yesterday was like an overreaction Victory Monday. It was very exciting. But you do know, like, this team, we all know this team has to move forward and get better because the schedule only gets tougher, and you're in a Monday Night Football versus another Super Bowl contender. I'm interested on both sides of the ball, who you feel like needs to kind of take another step forward in order for this team to kind of keep progressing. Because we haven't really talked about the negative players, and I don't want to, again, just do negatives. We can even do guys who looked good who still need to continue to get better. But defensively and offensively, I was trying to think about some guys in kind of that aspect.
So I have 3 guys I just wrote down quickly because they just come to mind.
Okay.
2 on defense, 1 on offense, and I think there's more on offense you could definitely go with. Let me just make sure this is okay. The guys I have on defense, number 1, and don't take this in a bad way.
I know who you're gonna say, and it's like it's wrong. I know it's wrong.
No, it's not.
He hasn't played bad. He's actually played very good.
No, it's not about he's playing bad. It's who do you need more out of if you want to, you want him to get to another level. Jack Campbell. That's who I'm going with.
I set myself up. I knew.
The reason why I'm going Jack Campbell, and please, I would love from the chat, like, tell me if I'm off on this. All right. I think Jack Campbell has not been bad, but I think for Jack Campbell, year 3, we had, you talked potential Pro Bowl at the highest peak, potential all pro. I just want to see more of Jack. I want to see Jack just continue to take it to another level. I'm not saying he's playing bad. I just want to see him kind of rise to that like elite linebacker. I think there was a couple plays, like the play against, it seemed like against the Packers, he was a little lost in coverage against Tucker Kraft. It seemed like he was just getting the best of him. And then against the Bears, he didn't look great in coverage. I know he's good against the run. I know he can chase down anyone sideline to sideline, but I want to see him a little better in coverage for sure. I think he's better than that, better than what he's displayed. So I do want to see a little more out of Jack. I do.
Okay, I think that's fair because
I just expect a lot out of him.
The expectations that I've even set for him on our show and for the people is that he was going to be a Pro Bowl linebacker this year and potentially all pro. So like the expectations are there. I still think like he's top I think 15 right now in tackles in the NFL. I would be interested. Do you have PFF up, Jeff? Do we have a crunch time PFF?
Let me see. Actually,
that's something I need to do. I know we're in week 2. I have not gone back into PFF.
I have PFF here with Jack Campbell.
Okay, can we get Jack Campbell's grades and see where he ranks among linebackers, coverage, run defense?
Want me to share my screen?
Yeah, I'm interested to see all 3 of those categories and see them with other linebackers. I really am.
I just have Jack's. Where he ranks. Is that cool? Like I just have this.
Yeah, I mean, if it shows where he ranks amongst linebackers, so he's 42nd out of linebackers. So run defense is elite.
Yeah, see his run defense is
coverage grade. So yeah, no, he hasn't been the best, which is fine. I think there's a world too where the pass rush grade. I don't know. Do you feel like this with Jack? It feels like they've been sending him more than they usually do. Like Shep has.
He's not a good blitzer. That's not really.
Because they're trying to generate pressure, and it's just not his game. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I don't think like your best linebackers in the NFL, like you're expecting them to be the best, very high graded edge rushers or pass rushers, and
they're like Roquan or someone crazy.
Yeah, but like Fred Warner, how often is Fred Warner? I mean, maybe how many sacks is Fred Warner even getting?
No,
he's
a better.
He's more so.
Back.
Yeah, and like it's like you're putting Jack in those positions because guess what? You don't have a good D line or a good edge room right now, so you're trying to make up for that with Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, and Derek Barnes. So I think that hurts his grade a little bit. But no, I'm with you. I can sit here and I mean, I can look at his grades here. I know we don't live off PFF, but
it's a good,
being 42nd out of 111 linebackers, where last year he was top 10 in every category, essentially. That's where, you are definitely it's only 2 weeks in, so this could change drastically. But yeah, for sure.
It will change. It will. He will get better.
He's one of the better linebackers in the NFL, in my opinion. And you do need him to kind of step up and be at that level.
But that's where I was coming from with Jack.
For this defense to be that good.
Need him to kind of get to the level we wanted this year. And he will, because
sure.
I think it'll be a good week. It'll be a good test for him this week against Lamar. Him and Anzo, you're going to need those guys. But Anzo, I want to see. I haven't really gotten to see Anzalone's PFF grade. Anzalone's been, I don't even know if they've both been that. Yeah, Anzalone hasn't been really that good. He's 59th among linebackers. Okay.
It feels like they've been flying around playing well, though. I don't know. Our defense, it hasn't felt like the linebackers have been a problem, which is
no. They're tackling. They're tackling and run defense. I think has been really good. They're tackling well, and Anzo's been decent in coverage. He's shown that, but
I just think the only issue is with those guys, it's like they're having to scheme up all these different ways to get pressure and generate pressure. That those linebackers, especially Anzo and Jack, they're getting put in positions where they're blitzing. I wonder how much they blitz.
Yeah, that'd be a good stat, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to see, actually. I want to try and get that information. How much? Because there's websites that'll tell you stuff like that. Let me see if it'll say in 2025.
Yeah, like this blitz rate or something. I don't know where we would find that. Maybe Next Gen Stats would have it.
Yeah, something like that.
But I'd be interested in that just because to see those two, Barnes is supposed to be your Sam, who's the one you're most likely sending majority of the time. But with Anzo and Jack, it feels like they're getting sent quite a bit.
Yeah, they are. And especially Derek Barnes. Derek Barnes has been kind of in that. I'm surprised Derek Barnes hasn't really gotten to the quarterback yet. He's been he's the best blitzer out of all the guys they have. I mean, on PFF, he actually has he's the 39th ranked linebacker, so he's a little higher. But he's been okay in every category, but he's actually had more success rushing the passer, than obviously. But that's why he does. That's why he plays Sam. He's better in that area. But I have Jack Campbell as my first one. I got two other ones, but I'm curious who you have. Maybe we have a similar.
Who are your other two? This is why I wanted to ask a question to you in the chat was because I was trying to think of some, and obviously guys like Will, obviously TA, which we're talking about him later in the show. I see a lot of people putting him in the chat. TA is one that you really need. I think you can also say even like a DJ Reed. I don't think DJ Reed, it feels like, hasn't been at that level, and he's gotten beat sometimes. And you definitely notice moments in games where it's like, how is that happening to DJ Reed? He's supposed to be your veteran corner. So I would probably throw DJ Reed in there. Offensively, I'll just throw out one offensively. I guess I don't want to fully do it, but I think Graham and Tate, I feel like
Tate. I have Tate written down.
Yeah. I feel like he's gotten a lot better from week one. That's why it's hard. That's why I was thinking about this today, because I couldn't really fully think of one, because it felt like this game was such a step up from week one to where guys are improving. But you can make the argument with Tate that's hey, he's a rookie. I don't know what his grade was in this last game, but I still feel like there was rooms, and there was a couple plays where you could tell, hey, he could be a little bit better. But I think one of the biggest things for him is that he does have Penei Sewell next to him, right? So a lot of it gets covered up, or as well as he's learning kind of on the go through Penei Sewell, that's an advantage a lot of people around the NFL, don't have. But as a rookie, that he's going to have a couple of those kind of slip up moments for this team to improve, especially offensively when you're talking about the O-line. It's probably a guy that's a rookie in there and just has to continue to take steps forward. I think he will. I think there were some moments in that game he looked good. He looked really good. And as a whole, again, they only gave up 2 pressures. And I don't know who the 2 pressures came from, but the fact they only gave 2 pressures up all game, that's such a big positive, even with essentially Tate Ratledge is a rookie and Christian Mahogany essentially is a rookie as well, only in his 3rd start of his career.
Yeah, I think Tate will get better, but it is fair to be this O-line, they depend on him so much. You just put a little pressure on Tate to you want it's a little bit of urgency. I mean, he played better against the Bears for sure. But I will say for DJ Reed, that's someone that I think his run defense has been very good. He's going up and making tackles. I've seen it with DJ Reed, but in coverage, I'm not going to panic yet, but he's been really bad in coverage. Like he's ranked 106th out of 141 corners in coverage. So he has, and I think there's like a minimum amount of snaps played. Yeah, 25% of the maximum targets. If they'll get a ranking. So yeah, it's not like guys that don't play. It's all guys that play. He's 106 out of 141 in coverage. So that's not DJ Reed. Obviously, he's much better than that. In 2024, he was 47th. Like he's having a rough start. So I want DJ Reed's that's actually a fair one because you need those guys, man. Especially if TA's taking some time, you need DJ Reed to play better. But I have another player on here, and I don't know how you feel about this. Because I agree. I have Tate Ratledge, I have Jack Campbell. I have Aiden Hutchinson as well. And I know it sounds bad, but hear me out on this. Like Aiden, let me tell you this. If we're using PFF, he's the 17th ranked edge rusher. He's the 16th ranked edge rusher when it comes to pass rush grade. Like we know Aiden's better than that. You know, he's 25th in total pressures right now. He has 7. Like we know Aiden's better, and that's where I'm coming from when I say I want more out of him. Like I'm trying to be fair because he's coming off an injury, but then we can't say that when all training camp he's been dominating Penei Sewell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I'm trying
you
to
know
find
what?
like a balance about that where it's like I want more out of Aiden. I want the defensive player of the year Aiden we all thought he would be this year. And I know it'll come, but they're going to need it against the Ravens for sure on Monday night. Like they're going to need that. I think
Jeff, spot on. I listen, what Hutch is doing, he's obviously one of your better players still, what he's doing. I do think though, with the expectations of what you're expecting out of him, you expect him to be, let's say minimum top 10 in some of these categories, minimum.
Yeah. And
he's outside of that right now. And that he's the guy that's supposed to be bringing all the juice for you. And he's the one, like we saw a couple one-on-ones. I remember you pointed it out, and I know specifically one of them, but there was multiple throughout the game to where like Dan's like last week, you have to win your one-on-ones. Like everyone does. That's including Hutch. And he had a couple one-on-ones on Sunday. And I know, again, only gave up 21 points, 152-21, whatever it was. He just didn't win some of his one-on-ones. Like there was one where it was like very clear. You looked at me and you're like, how does he not win that? Like that's Aiden Hutchinson one-on-one with the left tackle. He should be dominating, right? And there are definitely moments to where I think you can look at it to where, hey, you expect a lot out of him. You haven't seen fully all of that. And especially too, like the Hutch rule that was in place in camp and all of that. A lot of people, and me especially, saying he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. You just haven't really seen Defensive Player of the Year Hutch yet. So I don't hate the fact, honestly, you have him on your list. I think that's fair. I think it's fair criticism, to be honest. I do.
And I think it's a good, there were times where he was in Caleb's face and didn't get this, like, he could have had
a couple times. Yeah. And he just didn't finish.
Yeah, he didn't finish, and that's something out of Aiden I'm not worried about. But yeah, you're gonna.
It did feel uncharacteristic, and then even in the Packers game, I know they were, double teaming him and they were sending all these different things at him, but there wasn't a presence. It didn't feel like, and I'm sure there was times he had one-on-ones, and he just didn't feel that much of a presence. Last thing I'll just say, like with other edge rushers in the NFL, this is something that we've talked about actually before, and we've actually had guys on that we've had this conversation where it's like, hey, Hutch wants to be in that category of the Myles Garretts, the Max Crosbys, TJ Watts, Micah Parsons. Those guys are getting chipped and doubled as well all game too. So it's like you can't have those excuses. You know what I mean? A lot of people do have those excuses for him and say, well, other guys have to win their one-on-ones. He's getting chipped. He's getting doubled. That happens to those guys all the time. Like Micah Parsons is one of the highest rated guys that gets double teamed and chipped in the NFL. And he still somehow is constantly getting, 12, 15 sacks a year. And it's incredible. Same with TJ Watt. So it's like that happens to everyone. If you're at that level, the expectation is you figure it out when you get that thing done, right? Like you make plays and you get pressures.
Hey, well, I know a guy who makes plays. His name's Cory Woods. All right.
Here we go.
Covers the Detroit Lions and Detroit Pistons for MLive.com, joins the fellas, and we appreciate the hell out of him for it. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Cory Woods. Cory, how are we doing?
Yo, what's good? And, just for your followers, I put on my regular glasses today. Everybody had a freaking aneurysm last time I had on my wire. How can he see inside? Jesus Christ, it's a tent. Good Lord.
Cory, I'm glad you cleared that up. I know we had also Jimmy Fallon wearing buffs.
Yeah, he had on buffs.
Yeah,
I ain't got that kind of money. Those are $4,000. Those are $4,000 plus he had on.
Yeah, that's the Cade Cunningham. The Kate Cunningham max contract buffs. But let me ask you, Corey. The Lions absolutely destroyed the Bears. What the hell do you make of it? I mean, it was a hell of a performance. I know we talked to you last week, kind of talking panic level, Johnny Moe, Calvin Shepard, and then you see that performance, and they're dominating on all three phases of the game. What's kind of your takeaway? Just you could start wherever, but your thoughts on just the blowout performance there, beating Ben Johnson.
Well, first off, it was expected. I mean, the Bears did not look really that impressive against their game on Monday night against the Vikings. So I was not really that shocked. You have to think about this. They didn't have a preseason together, this unit. I mean, there was a lot of communication issues that they said that they can clean up. And I think had they played together in the preseason, which Dan Campbell alluded to, that probably should have happened, you would have seen a lot of those communication errors cleaned up. You would have been able to see guys kind of know where everybody's supposed to be at and know things are how supposed to work out. So hopefully moving on down the line, not necessarily saying the Lions need to play the guys a whole half or anything like that, but, maybe a couple of drives to kind of work a few things out and, be able to get some tape on some things to kind of take back and tweak going into the season. So, but I mean, I wasn't shocked. I mean, this is a darn good offense. That's a pretty solid defense. And the Bears, I mean, they have a lot of holes still. So the performance, the Lions winning wasn't shocking to me. Even the blowout, I expected something around 30-14. I believe that was the score I gave. 52-21 was not on my bingo card. And I said this also, it's kind of blasphemous to say that, the score was not even as close as it was and they put up 52 points, but they could have easily put up 70. And it was just a total dominant performance. They put some good things on tape, but the Bears to me are just such a bad team. I'm still trying to kind of figure out how to grade it. But hey, the Lions did. I would say this though, the Lions did what a good team is supposed to do. They beat the hell out of a bad team. And if it was any closer than that, like I said, I had 30-14. If it would have been any closer than that, I would have been like, okay, might need to start, having some concerns here. But I mean, they beat up on bad teams. Smart, good teams do that.
Yeah, Corey, I'm right there with you. One thing I do want to ask, this seems like kind of the bigger storyline coming out of the game. Jeff and I talked about it a lot yesterday, was the pass rush again, which is something the last few years obviously has been a big conversation piece for this team. And obviously Marcus Davenport has the shoulder and ankle that they're still getting looked at. What are your thoughts on that? What do you see happening here with the Marcus Davenport situation? And obviously AQM is going to start getting more snaps. How do you see Brad and these guys kind of going about that? Say if Marcus Davenport is out for the next few weeks or a little longer term.
I'm not sure because I don't think it would be fair of me to kind of give a real read on it, because last time we talked to Dan Campbell, they're seeking a second opinion on it. So we have no idea what things look like right now. I mean, to even Marcus Davenport didn't. We talked to him after the game and his shoulder was wrapped up and nice. And he said he didn't know the severity of it himself. He has to wait and see. So I think that, we should just, kind of pause. But I mean, if something does happen, like if he's out for a couple of games, I mean, they got some guys on the practice squad that can bring up and, fill that gap. But if we're talking about something being long-term, then, hey, maybe you have to go look out on the market, on the trade market, and see what kind of options you have. I mean, still got to bring somebody in from the practice squad, but, as you near the trade deadline and you see where teams are at, maybe some teams want to get something off the books, and then you see where the Lions are at, who knows? Maybe they make another trade. I mean, they did it last year when Aiden Hutchinson went down. They immediately contacted the Cleveland Browns to see about Zadarius Smith, and it still took a month to get that done because, pass rushers are a premium and teams don't want to give them up. So if it's a long-term injury, I could see a similar scenario where they go out and make a trade for a pass rusher. But if it's something where he's just down for a couple of weeks, they have some options on the practice squad that they can call up and, fill that void for the time being.
Hey, Corey, just help me, please. Help me here. And Booner brought this up yesterday. From a Lions fans' perspective, right? And it's not Davenport's fault. I want to make that very clear. But because no one blames Davenport. He took the $4 million. He got offered to come back. He did nothing wrong. But from Brad Holmes' perspective, do you see why this is kind of confusing for fans? It's like, oh, they don't need an edge. They don't need an edge. We're fine. And then Davenport's hurt in week 2. And now it's like, well, they might have to make a trade. And you're not wrong, by the way. But do you see where that's like, what is going on? Because you could have gotten Za'Darius without giving up assets. Like, what is going on with this whole thing? Because now we're going to get into the situation where actually Booner brought it up, where you get practice squad dudes for the defensive end 2 spot, and everyone's going to be like, what the hell? What's going on here?
Well, I think the practice squad guys will 2 things. I think the practice squad guys will probably be in the rotational spot, because if anybody I think is going to go ahead and take that number 2 spot next to Hutch, I think it's going to be Al-Qadim Muhammad. He's definitely earned his right to be able to take that spot if Davenport is down for a serious time. But having said that, I do understand the Za'Darius concerns, because when you see the deal that he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, it was very incentive laden. But when you do a little bit of research and kind of look at some of the, I'm just kind of reading between the tea leaves of some of the things that he said, I am not so sure he would have taken the deal that he did if it were any other team but the Eagles. I believe that they really made a real pitch to bring him in. And who knows what went down between those meetings between him and the Lions, because, I mean, you got to think about it like this. If they were saving money by cutting him at the fraction that they did, who knows if he was going to come back to the Lions for the contract he took with them. So it all depends. It's kind of one of those things that is hard to get a read on. But I will say what a fair argument, a fair feeling for fans is that, yeah, maybe we don't know what happened with Za'Darius Smith per se, but not prioritizing adding to your pass rush in general. Yes, you can definitely feel like that was a misstep by this team, because again, prior to this season, Davenport has only played 6 games over the past 2 seasons, and it's not getting on him because of his injury history, but it's just the reality at hand that, hey, yes, this guy is good when he plays, but can you count on him to play? So Za'Darius may not have been the guy that they wanted at, when they were, trying to add to this pass rush, but there is it is reasonable to question why they didn't at least go look at somebody else, because there were other options. There was a Drew Don was out there. There's a Jadeveon Clowney. He just signed with the Cowboys. So there were guys out there that they could have possibly at least brought in to a training camp, or brought in to work out to add to their depth.
Yeah, Cory, just defensively as a whole, just want to kind of get your thoughts on that there. And I can ask kind of on this end, just a grade maybe for this defense versus the Chicago Bears compared from what you saw week 1 versus the Packers and with the Bears here, especially heading into this Ravens game. Obviously, it's such a big task with Lamar, Derrick Henry. So, and then as well as too, honestly, Cory, just like your confidence level heading into the this Monday Night Football versus them defensively.
They still have some things they need to work out defensively. And again, I kind of attribute it to the same thing with the communication issues they had on offense. There was no preseason, so guys are a little bit rusty. Yeah, they did the joint practices, but you can joint practice. You can have as many huge speakers out there to simulate the noise and the environment, but you just cannot simulate real-time action. And I just think that's what you're seeing, because again, last year, if you look at how they started last year, I know everybody looks at they finished 15-2, but that team started out rather rusty to begin the year. They really did not start hitting their stride until like after the Cowboys game. So I just think that's what we're seeing right now is a little bit of rust. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson came out and played out with his hair on fire last year. He's not going to, he may be not playing the same way because he's coming off of a broken leg. I mean, this is the first time this guy has he's done the joint practice, but this is his first game action since breaking that leg. So it's going to take him some time to get back to being the Aiden Hutchinson that people are used to. It's going to take some time for that whole defense to get used to each other. This is a new coordinator. This is they're playing in real speed now. So I will say Monday is going to be a heck of a test for them. If they're able to come out and play at least, let's say about 65, 70% as good as they did against the Bears, I would say fans should feel confident about them going into their next stretch of games, because after that, you got Cleveland, you got Cincinnati, and I mean, you know, they should be all right.
Yeah, Cory, what do you think about Terrion Arnold? I know he got the groin injury against the Packers, but he played in the game against the Bears, and he just looked. There's positives that he shows, and then there's negatives. It seems like there's some inconsistency issues maybe with Terrion Arnold. I don't know if it's related to the groin injury or not. Calvin Shepard always says, if you're hurt, don't play. But what have you kind of made from the second-year corner, who everyone was praising, including Calvin Shepard, who said he has the CB1 capability? But what have you kind of made? It's not just him, obviously. DJ Reed's been struggling, but just those two corners to start the year.
Again, I just think it's timing. I think there's some things that he's got to go ahead and work out. I will say I was a little bit more concerned in that Packers game as opposed to the Bears game, because in that Packers game, I was even concerned with some of the safeties. I was talking with somebody about today. I thought the safeties were playing a little bit too far back, and that's how Jordan Love was able to carve them up in the middle. But Terrion, I mean, it's been a tough sledding for him, because I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and give him the pass for the rookie year, but I mean, so far I believe he's allowed, you know, the most yards of a corner through 2 games. So that is something that they're definitely going to have to clean up. DJ Reed has not played the best as well, but again, I think when the Lions pass rush it looked better against the Bears, but when it gets to the point that they're all accustomed to, I think you'll start to see the corners play a little bit better. But just in general, I don't know what's going on with Terrion. That is, but again, if he continues to get beat, Kelvin Shepard said a little bit more than come out the game if you're injured. If anybody read that whole quote, it was pretty much like, you know, hey, everybody all has to earn a paycheck here, and there's not going to be any free rides. So you can read into that whatever you want to.
Yeah, hey Cory, that I heard that from Calvin, and I kind of like that out of the DC a little bit. Like, no matter who you are, you gotta play well to get a spot and to get snaps. Something I was interested to hear from you, Cory, is just opposite side of the ball, the trenches. Something that we've talked about a lot, actually. I think with you too, just how important the trenches are, especially offensively for this team, and obviously from the Packers game, the miscommunications and with the offensive line and the way they played was drastically different compared to the Chicago Bears team. How did you feel about some of these guys, especially like Tate Ratledge, Christian Mahogany, and that middle, with Graham Glasgow as well? Did you feel more confident with what you saw on Sunday with them compared to the Packers, and then going into these next few weeks with some of these matchups?
Yeah, absolutely, because the communication was better, and the guys took ownership of that throughout the entire week. When you spoke with a Tate Ratledge, a Christian Mahogany, I didn't speak to Graham Glasgow. I know others did, but the general consensus was like, hey, this is stuff that we can clean up. This is really just communication issues, because I mean, you don't have a Pro Bowl guard out there in Kevin Zeitler anymore. You don't have a generational center out there in Frank Ragnow. I mean, you get a lot of those guys have been playing together for the past few seasons. So now you're having a revamped offensive line with a new coordinator. So, I mean, yeah, the guys look good in the joint practices, but again, you cannot simulate real time. So I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay, but hey, they worked out some of the kinks. And I think another thing too is Dan said that he probably put a little bit too much on their plate going into Green Bay. So probably taking some of those things off and simplifying things, allowing them to play a little bit more freely and honing in on those communication errors, something that also Jared Goff took ownership of as well. that's what you saw. And also, too, they played at home, too. I mean, they didn't play in a hostile environment like Lambeau Field. They played at home. So I think the real test of what those communication errors, that's going to pop up again when they go to Baltimore, because, like, you know, they're going to be going into another hostile environment.
Well, we appreciate you, Cory, as always. Keep up the great work, my friend. You guys can follow Cory at Cory Woods. He does great work covering the Detroit Lions, and eventually he'll do both Detroit Pistons as well. Cory, we'll talk to you soon, my friend. Appreciate you.
Nice. See it.
Appreciate
there
it,
you
Cory.
go. Cory Woods joining the show, talking to the fellas here. Appreciate all the people tuning in right now. If you could hit the like button for us, we'd appreciate it. Push the show out in the algorithm. We have more to get to. We're going to talk Terrion Arnold, because I saw a tweet today that had me a little concerned, and I want to ask you guys, should I be concerned? Booner will weigh in as well, because I don't know, it wasn't a great tweet. And usually we're used to seeing some positive stuff this week after a blowout win. But before we get to TA, I need to tell you about our friends over. Oh, excuse me, Boone. Let me just fix that so I can.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Scoot over. Thank you. All right. Let me tell you about our friends over at Comer & Cross and their one-day installation concrete floor coatings. Because right now, Comer & Cross has a sale you should be trying to get in on. They're offering 12 months same as cash or $500 in savings. Don't put off getting a new Comer & Cross concrete floor with 12 months same as cash or $500 off. Call the number 248-834-3488. They'll transform your patio, pool deck, basement, even your driveway, and they move the stuff out for you. So give them a call. 248-834-3488, 248-834-3488. Or you can book your free estimate at comercross.com. Tell them your friends over at Crunch Time Sports sent you. All right. Let me show you this.
Shout out Comer & Cross, man.
Big shout out to Comer & Cross. They are, I'll tell you what, they're not struggling like TA right now.
You know what? Can I ask you a question too? Because Cory, calm you down a little bit about the Davenport thing. I like how Cory's like, hey, let's wait and see. I love that. Like, okay, he's not wrong. Let's wait and see with Davenport. Maybe it's imagine Davenport plays Monday night.
Yeah, he is the voice of reason.
He is. Yeah, calm me down a little bit.
I will say, we just have to find out what the injury actually is. It's just, I just never liked hearing the word second opinion.
Second opinion kills. It hurts.
Because they're trying to just either confirm what they've already heard. You know, because you ever see that where a player gets diagnosed with an injury and it's really bad, and then they go to a different doctor and it's like not as bad, and they get diagnosed with something else, and they're like, all right, we'll go with this. If it's the second opinion's just the same diagnosis, it's not good. All right. Not good, but we'll find out. You know, I'm sure you'll find out after they get the opinion, probably by the time the Ravens game is on Monday. You'll find out more, but yeah, it does stink, man. Again, it has nothing to do with Davenport. It's just preparing for this possibility.
And by the way, too, like
Lions have not done that.
This is the worst, dude. Wheezy D, like, no, y'all jumped out the window just to be right. Was ready for that injury to pounce. Like, what are we doing there, man?
Yeah, I'm not.
Wheezy D for the last couple of days has just been so negative. Anytime anyone says anything that's less than positivity about this team, Wheezy D has like a mental breakdown. Like, it's just relax, dude.
Yeah, but Wheezy's been a big Davenport guy. But here's the thing: no one we have not once did, and I told you so for Davenport. It's not about Davenport.
It has nothing to do with Davenport. It's just
it's about Brad Holmes not preparing for this. You know,
Davenport. We've said if he plays, he produces, which it's proven. He just got a sack the other day, and he was playing.
Yeah,
but it's like you're relying on a guy who hasn't played a full season almost his whole career. So it's
not. Yeah, it's just an availability issue, which based on data, you can't argue. He has not been available. There's not an argument to argue he is available. So I don't know how anyone there's no one that can disagree with that. It's just about preparing for it, which they have not done a good job of. But
here we go.
Lions Fan Report put this out. No cornerback in the NFL has allowed more yards and covers than Terrion Arnold, 175 through 2 weeks.
This guy hit the air horn. I mean, what are you doing, dude? We got to take away your
air horn duties. Air horn duties. It's just hit it again. What do we think about this? Are we? What's the panic level with TA? Just hit it again. Yep.
I'm not hitting it. That's
no. I didn't hit it again.
I think you might have just accidentally clicked it.
I'll hit it one more time. But here's the
This
thing.
guy,
What's the
dude.
1 through 10 panic level with TA? Because here's the thing. Okay.
What are you doing over there, bro?
No, that right there, that sound is what's been happening to TA in coverage. He's getting yeah. You know what I'm going to say. He's getting Yep. And that's the problem we're having right now with TA, man. Is I love him. He can tackle. You know, he can play the run. But that's not why you draft a guy, is to play the run. All right. He's supposed to stay stout in coverage. And honestly, I don't know what it is. I know, like, again, if you want to use PFF, if you don't care for it, cool. I mentioned how DJ Reed was like the 100th ranked corner. He's the 105th. Terrion Arnold. He's 105th out of 140. So he has a 46.5 coverage grade. Yeah. So he's actually been really bad. All right. He's shown it a little bit, shown some flashes, maybe some things where you're like, oh, pass breakup, or he did good on his. But overall, he has not been the improved CB1 potential player we thought he'd be.
For sure.
And it's still early in the season. It's still 2 weeks. You know, he can still improve. I just think, for me, I don't know if the groin injury is still lingering or what. But again, we have to take this into consideration, that Calvin Shepard and our eyeballs for training camp. Calvin Shepard says he's CB1, man. He can be. He has the potential to be. He has the confidence to be. And then you look at the training camp and you're like, wow, he's actually shown some positive things in training camp. And then you get to the season and it's like,
that's where
I don't
know.
I don't know what to think.
Yeah, me either. Because this isn't a scenario, and this is the weird part about it, to where it's like you just heard Shep be like, "Oh no, he's done good in training." Like, me and you went to 6 camp or practices. Every time we saw TA play, we were like, "TA looks way better." And it's not like he was going up against any scrubs. He's going up against Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. He's going up against like legit wide receivers in the NFL. And he looks good. Like, he looked good. So that's why it's a little shocking to me what's happened the first 2 weeks. Now, could it be, Jeff, the injury, a groin injury? Yeah, it very well could be. But again, you go back to what Shep said, where Calvin Shepard's like, listen, if you're hurt, come out, don't play. And that's where this is right now. And the one thing with TA was, yes, you are spot on, Jeff. The man can play the run very well. He's an elite tackler, doesn't miss tackles, and plays the run. What we wanted to see is what we saw towards the end of last season, when he started becoming better in coverage. He started to learning, hey, you got to turn your head. You can't be as handsy and all of that. And he started to learn that a little bit more. And remember, early in the offseason, I had brought up the example of his PFF grades and all of that from weeks 1 through 8 to weeks 9 through 17/18. Remember, I brought that up, and there was like a drastic change, right? Like, you could see the improvement throughout the year. It's a tough start for someone who was supposed to have a big season, right? Like, he has put himself in a position where it's like, dude, like, you're getting beat in moments where you're supposed to be making plays, and you're supposed to be CB1 at that point. So it's tough. Like, I don't know. And what makes it worse too is that DJ Reed hasn't been at that level either. So it's like kind of a 1-2 punch. But on top of it, it's like, hey, TA was supposed to be your guy. Like, that was supposed to be your dude. And through 2 weeks, I'm not going to say he's gotten cooked, but he's gotten cooked in moments. And you're sitting there going like, this was the issue last year. And this is like what Shep said. And Shep actually said it after week 1. Justin Rogers had asked him about the touchdown he's given up and the big play as well, the back-to-back plays essentially. And what did Shep say? Do you remember what he said, Jeff? He was like, literally, this is what happened last year. If you're going to be a pro, you have to learn from these mistakes. And if not, you're not going to play. And he hasn't learned from all of them. And the same things are just happening over and over again. So I don't know. Like Shift Guy just put in the chat, like, I still got hope for him. I do too. Like, I still think TA can be really good because based off of like, he has all of the intangibles to be a great corner in the NFL. He has the skills. He has the size. Like, he has everything to do it. I think it's just about like in-game moments, going out there and doing it and performing, right? Like, you don't want to be a practice player or anything. You want to be a guy that goes out on Sundays and performs. And we know TA can perform, but he just hasn't on Sundays. Like, that's the problem. So you want to see it. I hope, and this is a big test this week versus the Ravens, right? Obviously, you have Lamar, who's going to be a running quarterback, and TA is good in the run. But you have Zay Flowers this week, which a lot of people might not think are like, oh, really? Zay's a good receiver in the NFL. So you have another test this week. And then in 2 weeks, guess what you have? You have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So he's going to be tested coming up here. And he has to figure this thing out quick, too, because you can't go all season him being dead or, number one in net yards given up as a corner. You can't do that and expect to be a corner in the NFL.
Yeah, and listen, I do want to say positively for TA, penalties, not giving up penalties, which is good. Last year the penalties, so he has corrected that. He had a dropped interception against the Bears, so he's you could see some of the playmaking ability. It's really just it's the yards given up, and I know like Silent says it's easy to look good against your teammates when you know the route combinations. Yeah, but I think he's been. Even though you still know what they're going to do, you still have to stop it. So I will give TA that. Like in training camp, he was very good. So I'm not going to overreact right now. Even though Chris S. says the season just effing started, just talking shit to talk shit at this point. Well, Chris, let me ask you this.
No, I think it's more so like it's a fact. I don't know if he has anything. It's like these are facts. He hasn't played well.
But here's the thing with Chris. How about I ask you, Chris, when is it okay to evaluate anything? I'll ask you.
Never.
Are we supposed to wait 6 weeks, 8 weeks maybe we should just not talk Lions football, wait 8 weeks, then evaluate? When should we evaluate, Chris? I'll ask you and I'll let you answer that one. I'll hang up and listen. So you tell me, Chris S.
When is it okay? I'll hang up and listen.
When is it okay to evaluate? Because if we can't evaluate on a week-to-week basis, then we're not doing our jobs. That's the point of this, right? We're talking about things we just have seen. So I don't know. It's not about talking shit to talk shit at this point. It's about reacting to games and what we see on a week-to-week basis. That comes with it. Atur, he was the 10th least targeted DB in the entire NFL for the whole season in 2024. I'm done with this. This need to evaluate players every 15 minutes because of your shit fantasy football education.
Wait, so fantasy football? Do corners play fantasy?
No, they don't. They do not play.
I don't know.
Football.
Sorry.
Like, again, the same thing applies to like that comment as well.
Are we going to act like he just didn't get beaten in big moments in the Packers game? And that again, can you pull that tweet back up?
Yes.
These are just stats. These are facts. These are stats. Oh, and you know what? Ator and whoever you people are that are sitting here trying to like justify this. His defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, gets asked about it and said the same stuff. He said, yeah, no, TA's just missed assignments. Kelvin Shepard, his coach, is just straight up like, he's missed assignments. He's making the same mistakes as he did last year versus San Francisco 49ers. Like, his coach is saying this. This isn't us being like making things up. Not that I was the biggest TA fan all offseason. I said TA is going to be a Pro Bowler. I still believe he has the skills to do it. I think I still have faith in him this year. But stop being those fans and stop being those people who are like, anytime something negative gets brought up or there is a conversation, you don't have strong enough skin to be able to sit there and take it and be like, no, maybe they are right. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? 170 yards given up through 2 weeks is the most allowed by any corner in coverage. That's a fact. There's no fantasy football. There's no, give him time. This is a bold fact. Bold fact. There's nothing else to it. He's given up the most yards in coverage out of any corner in the NFL through 2 weeks.
Here's the like.
He was supposed to be your corner one through 2 weeks.
Here's the thing.
Or not. Don't care.
Here's the thing.
It's something to talk about. Sorry, Jeff. It's just something to talk about. No one's saying he's a bust. No one's saying he's bad. It is a just bold fact. The first 2 weeks, he has given up the most yards in the NFL at his position. That is a fact. There's nothing else to it. No one's saying he sucks. No one's saying he's not going to work out.
Here's the thing.
He just needs to be better.
Chris. Shout out Chris, man. He says all your shit is fucking
Sky
negative.
is falling. Watch yesterday's show, Chris. What are you talking about?
I was gonna say, Chris, that's how I know you must not watch often, and that's okay. You don't have to. But our shit is not all negative, my friend. We actually, and this is the problem, I think, not just this isn't a Chris thing. There's a lot of Lions fans, and I think fans in general are like this. You can say as much positive as you want, but as soon as you say one thing negative, now you are a negative person and you don't say anything positive.
Oh man, I'm the most positive person in the Lions fan base. Oh my gosh.
And here's the thing. Chris says BH needs to be fired. Never said
Chris
that.
said that. Chris just said that, not us.
Yeah, Chris, we've never said once on this channel in the entire 2 years almost of doing this, or I guess a year and a half, whatever it is. We've never said Brad Holmes needs to be fired. So that's actually not true.
Chris has never been told no in his life.
TA is trash. That is another thing we have never said. So again, Chris, we don't mind having debates, but you can't come with false information. Yeah. We've never said TA is trash. What we're saying is he's struggling and we need him to get better and improve. Did we say the B word, Booner?
No. And by the way, yesterday, I'm getting called yesterday.
No.
Jeff, me and you have had this conversation outside of the show about the Lions fan base. I'll have a show like yesterday where I get told I'm the biggest slappy in the world, and Booner, you're too positive about the win. Like you're overreacting too much and too many good things about the win versus Chicago Bears. That's what the comments were yesterday towards me, correct? Like, Booner, why are you so, am I wrong, Jeff? Are you alive over there?
Bill Buttlicker. Come on, Chris. Booner thinks every Lions player is a potential Pro Bowler.
And then today, literally within 24 hours, these people are sitting here being like, you guys think Brad Holmes should be fired because you're literally giving us facts about Terrion Arnold. Like, me and you've had this conversation off air about Lions fans where it's like one day you could say this and they're like, you're too big of a slappy. And then within 24 hours, you're the worst Lions fan ever and you're not a big enough slappy. It's one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever dealt with in my life, if I'm being completely honest. I haven't wrapped my head around it.
ARF, you'll never please everyone. Yeah, I mean, we know that.
Literally.
It's still fun to bring it up. El Guapo says, it's okay to expect greatness from your team. He was a first-round pick. It's year 2. It's not crazy.
First-round pick. It's not like a fourth-round guy. El Guapo,
you're not allowed to have that take. It makes too much sense, El Guapo. He was a first-round pick, and it's year 2. It's not crazy to expect more. Yeah,
it is so shocking to me.
El Guapo, that's a way too sane of a take, my friend. Nick83, appreciate the $5. My friend, he says that stat tells me that you don't have a consistent pass rush either. Can't blame these DBs when Love is just starting
Nick,
one.
Thank you for the $5.
One there, Caleb too.
We've been talking about the edge room too. Like we went at them yesterday for Brad Holmes not having this edge room, and where he says, "Hey, we're good here," and it's not as good as he says it is. We've said the same thing.
Yeah, I would say honestly, Nick, that's a fair point. Honestly, that's a fair point. I think having a better pass rush helps him for sure. The Packers.
Remember what Amon-Ra St. Brown said too.
Yeah,
if you have a good pass rush, you don't need good corners.
I think that's fair, Nick, for sure.
Straight out of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Detroit Ryan says, "Have you guys discussed Laporta?" Listen, I don't know what you think about the Laporta. I'm not worried about Laporta. I just don't think he's really getting. He's not really getting the target. He's not really getting attention. Like they're not throwing the ball at him that much. I don't think he's been bad or anything. I just think they're not.
I do think like last week there was a world like him and Brock Wright were in the game a lot at the same time. I do think there was a world where, and it's good from John Morton and Jared Goff and these guys that are scheming these plays up. I think they know the defense is going to put a lot of their effort towards Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, and JMO and whoever's in the backfield. And 80% of the time, and you saw it on Sunday, they just forget about Brock Wright. Like they're both in the game at the same time. You have a two tight end set, and you're like, oh, Sam Laporta's going to get the rock here, and it's Brock Wright. And I think that's the reason why. I think it's just you're using him as a decoy essentially. When obviously you want him to get plays, but.
Well, to use Ben Johnson's what did he say today about the Bears? He said we'd have to take a good look at what players are doing when they don't have the ball. Yeah. Sam Laporta, when he doesn't have the ball, is doing a lot of good things. He's blocking. Yeah, he's doing a lot of good things. So I'm not worried about Laporta. Detroit Ryans, I think he gets more involved. You'll start to see it. You'll start to see it more. Shift God. Jeff Booner, shout out to y'all. Can't do much without people getting mad. Brad, not the perfect peach in the bunch. Yeah, I appreciate that, Shift. It comes with it.
Thank you, Shift God.
Nick 83, appreciate another $5. He says, "Who's the Packers DBs? No one knows because they can't rush the QB,
Spot on.
or because they can rush the QB."
Nick is bringing up great points. I mean, he really is.
Yeah, it's spot
I think
on,
when you're one of your players on your team publicly goes, "Hey, if you have a good pass rush, you don't need a corner." The man's probably not wrong. One of the best in the league.
Yeah. I think the I listen. I think the pass rush improving will help the guys on the back end. So I'm not gonna sit here and freak out too much. I think TA will be fine, but it's something to acknowledge. Like, he's given up the most yards out of all DBs. Like, yeah, we at least have to have that conversation now. Since we don't talk positive stuff, let's have
we don't put positive things out.
Yeah, because we don't talk anything positive. It's funny because in the prep, we were going to have a Jared Goff conversation because he's actually been balling.
We should skip over this.
He's been why Jared Goff is overrated. No, I'm kidding. Here's the.
Are you pulling the tweet up?
Yeah.
Who do you know who made this tweet?
Are you genuinely asking me?
Yeah. Do you know who put this tweet out?
No.
Can you put it out there, or put it up?
Yeah.
How many? Can we scroll down real quick? This is something. Oh, this is Crunch Time Sport. This is us.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, it's a positive tweet. Scroll down real quick. Keep scrolling.
Yep.
Keep going to the bottom. Okay. What does that say? Oh, a positive tweet that reached 52,000 people. Okay, it's just interesting. I wonder who made this. Who made this tweet, Jeff? Can you guess?
Probably you.
Oh, wow. The guy that is negative and wants Brad Holmes fired made this tweet. 50,000 people saw it. A positive tweet from Crunch Time.
Yeah.
Wow, it's exactly weird, man. Yeah, I didn't know that I didn't know we put positive narratives out there.
Phil says AI.
Yeah, AI. I didn't know we did positive narratives anymore.
Yeah,
it's so interesting. Wow.
Fake news. Streams only says fake news.
Yeah, I made all these stats up and just threw. Imagine if I did. I just made them all up and threw it out there. That'd be kind of funny.
It's all just propaganda. That's all it is. I mean, the tweet reads: Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff since 2023. First in the NFL in yards with over 9,000, almost 10,000 passing yards. Second in the NFL in passing touchdowns. 73 passing touchdowns. First in the NFL in wins, 28 wins. Second in the NFL in completion percentage, 70.3 completion percentage. And first in the NFL in passing yards per game, 271.2 passing yards per game. He's first or second in all of these stats since 2023.
I mean, these are
the question is Jared Goff currently a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? He's balling. I mean,
is this not crazy to you?
It is.
This is nuts. I don't think people realize this enough. Like how, and I know he's been on a good offense, a good OC, all that. This is incredible.
Silence says even if you go back to 2022, he's still top 5 across the board.
Yeah,
like it's still he's been doing this for years.
2023, I think I just did it because that was the years they were in the playoffs. The playoffs didn't count, but just kind of the 12-win year, 15-win year now this year. But
yeah, I mean, let's keep it real, man. Like Jared Goff, like this year, he's third in passing yards, first in passing touchdowns, and second in QBR, and it's been 2 games. Like the last 2 seasons, he's had 67 passing touchdowns. The last 2 seasons, like it just 2, which is crazy. And he's thrown for over 4,000 yards basically the last 3 years: 4,600, 4,500, 4,400. Like he's just playing at a high level, an extremely high level. And this is the point I made yesterday about like the Ben Johnson thing. And like, again, it's people are going to be like, Jeff, wow, you're actually saying this. I thought you were just glazing Ben all the time. But here's the reality, right? Like people can say, nationally, well, Jared's going to miss Ben. Ben's going to miss Jared, man. Like look at what he's doing. The thing I love, and what does Ben Johnson love? Accuracy. He's second in the NFL in completion percentage with 70%. You remember what Ben Johnson said? Maybe you didn't see it, but I'm a sicko, so I saw it. But he said in a press conference during training camp what he wants Caleb Williams to do completion percentage wise. He says he wants 70%. That's what he wants. Look at Jared Goff's 70% since 2023. I wonder why he says that, because he had an accurate quarterback every year he's in Detroit, dude. Like he raised the standard. You know what I'm saying? He raised the standard for Ben Johnson. It's like Ben's gotten Jared Goff the last couple of years, and the guy just makes it look very, very easy.
Can I ask you a question here with this Jared Goff conversation about the top 5? Because when I put this out there, I did put, hey, is he currently a top 5 quarterback? And it's easy for people to be like, well, there's Joe Burrow, there's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels. I mean, you can name some. Matthew Stafford. Who am I missing? Am I missing a big one? I think I'm missing a big one. I could be wrong. I think there's a difference when you talk about Justin Herbert. My thought process is this, Jeff. With Jared Goff and where you rank him as a quarterback. And I think a lot of more people around the NFL need to start having this conversation a little bit more and have to have this thought process when it comes with quarterbacks. I think there's a difference between if you rank quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to talent compared to actual quarterback play and what they do on field. And a lot of people, I had conversations about this and I've seen a lot of comments. Well, Jared Goff's played this many games. Knock on wood. He hasn't had the injuries Joe Burrow has. Okay. I take all of that into account personally. I think availability is part of that as a quarterback and winning games, right? A lot of people are like, wins isn't a quarterback stat. Okay, those same people who say that, and Jeff, you might be one of those people, I don't know, but the same people who say, hey, wins is not a quarterback stat, those people will also blame Jared Goff for the Commanders' loss, for the Bills' loss, the Ravens' loss a couple years ago. They get blamed. The quarterback gets a blame when those losses happen. So when you do that, it's okay. When there are wins like there was versus the Chicago Bears and Jared Goff dominated, he deserves to get credit for those wins as well. Obviously, it's a team game, but that should be part of it. I think when you do look at ranking quarterbacks, yes, if you're ranking by talent, Jared Goff probably is not top 5 because of his lack of mobility and what some of the things like even Tua, Tua's a very accurate quarterback, and I'm not going to compare Tua to Jared Goff, but Tua just came out in the media today and was like, I don't know if you saw this, but he was like, I can't do half of the things Josh Allen can. And he's aware of that, right? But that doesn't mean Tua doesn't go out there and try and compete, right? And try and win the game. And he has a very good completion percentage. So I think with Jared Goff, it's he knows he can't do some of the things some of these guys can do. But what does he do? He puts himself in positions to be successful on a consistent basis, right? He's elite at the line pre-snap. And I don't think people talk about that enough. When they have to, kill out of a certain play and get to a different play, make an audible, different coverages, different things. He is elite at reading defenses and doing that. That's something that some of these guys with the talent can't do, that Jared does at a higher level. And Jared makes the play. So for me, when you do look at, take away the talent side of things, right? You can rank your quarterbacks talent-wise, who's better, and where you want to rank them. When you talk about just strictly on-field play, you have to put Jared Goff in the top 5 since 2023. There's just no, you can't look at this tweet and look at these stats and truly just be like, no, he's not. Give me, this player A, player B over him. Because, he's put the stats out there. He's thrown for 9,700 yards, 73 touchdowns. He has a 70% completion percentage, which guess what that means, Jeff? He's consistent, very consistent. One of the most consistent quarterbacks in the NFL. And he does it on a daily basis every game. And guess what comes of that? The 28 wins. And that's just not by any random circumstance. That's because he plays so well and he is the leader of that offense and that football team. And he's been the leader of a top 5 offense for the last 3 seasons. So I would have to be if you're talking about on-field play, Jared Goff's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I'd probably put him right at 5 when it comes to the last few years. If we're being realistic at this point, right? Talent-wise, okay, that's a different conversation. Quarterback play, he's 5th, and there's no question about it.
You know what? I actually don't mind the way you said that. I think for me, I made a reel earlier, and I said he's just outside of the top 5, but I wasn't thinking about what you're mentioning. I was going off of pure just, on a year-to-year basis when you're ranking guys, who would you take? The best quarterbacks, you'd rank them. But honestly, if we're going off the way the quarterbacks are playing right now, he's playing better right now than Jaden Daniels. He's playing right now better than Joe Burrow. He's playing at a high level. So I have to say right now, yeah, he's a top 5 quarterback. I mean, that's fair based on how he's playing. I mean, he's throwing, he threw 5 passing touchdowns. He played well against the Bears. Last year, he was in the MVP conversation, or at least at the outside of the top 2, but still, he was a finalist, I guess you could say. He was invited down to the awards.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that. I do. These stats, I mean, you can't look at these stats and say the guy is just top 10. I mean, it's hard. I mean, he's first or second, all these stats, and these are quarterback stats. And I might disagree with you on the wins, but okay, take the wins out. He's still second in completion percentage, first in, you know what I'm saying? He's still first or second in all these other stats. So it's even if we take out the wins, it's still impressive. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Anything you put out there, it's just like, what's he bad at? Like, oh, he doesn't have the rushing yards. Okay. Again, that's like, to me, that's talent. That's
like,
something
I would
else.
take him over Jalen Hurts. I don't care. I'll take him over Jalen
Oh,
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jalen Hurts just threw for 96 yards the other day. Like, what are we talking about here?
But
Jalen Hurts, I was talking about it today. Jalen Hurts is 31st in passing yards in the NFL right now. 31st. Yeah, they're 2-0. They're winning games. What's that? What's that? It's because they have a good defense and they have a great running back. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah, you can't really say anything. Silence says can't say he's being carried either because he's asked to do a lot. The yards per game shows that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is, man. Hey, shout out Honcho. Is it Honcho? The old Honcho? He says Mac Jones has more yards than Hurts in one game. Well, but Hurts knows how to win a game. I'll give him that. Hurts knows how to
he
win
wins. He has a very good football team, you know?
Yeah, and it helps having the offensive line they have and Saquon Barkley.
Jared does as well. He has a very good football team around him as well, but he also puts up the stats. I'm taking Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And I know Jalen won a Super Bowl, so it's like hard. You can't really come at it. But
yeah, but I mean, dude, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. Are you taking Nick Foles over Jared Goff?
But you see where I'm saying with the wins thing? Like I think quarterback has the most. He gets the blame if teams lose.
But I do think it's like consistency as well, right? Like
you should factor it in, obviously, to like how much they impact winning. But I don't look at like wins as like a straight quarterback stat. That's just I don't know. I struggle with that because Jalen Hurts is a prime example. Like I think there's quarterbacks that could have had success with the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I do. But whatever. It is what it is. I think if you put Jared Goff on the Eagles, they'd be real. What makes them great is his ability to run, obviously. So there's the argument. But I don't know. I would still take Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts. I would, as a quarterback. Just my preference. Cartier says if T-Law put that up, people would be on their knees. Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, I mean he would be like an MVP already at this point if T-Law did.
Shout out Slink Pizza, by the way. Slink Pizza, my guy.
Do you know the pizza guy?
No, it was just Slink Pizza, just showing some love, man. Look at Jeff.
You do a great job on those ad reads.
Hey, Slink
Is this
Pizza.
like your burner?
It's my burner. Shout out Slink Pizza, man.
Is it actually?
No, it's not. It's not my burner. He's just showing love, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peaceful Tim, he's never been asked to do anything. If we have to ask, then you're not that guy. This team is Jared's team. He commands the huddle, the locker room, and Graham's outfit selection. Yeah, that's fair. JT says I take Goff over Hurts too. Yeah, I know. I would agree with that. But yeah, Jared Goff right now, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback. We can agree with that.
For sure.
He is. You want to get to these top 10 NFL teams?
Yeah. Who went first last week?
I think you did.
I'll go first again.
Oh, okay. I just put my list up. Oh God, don't look. He took a peek at it.
I saw number 10. Shouldn't be on there, but I saw.
All right, let's go. Boone, talk to me here. Top 10 NFL.
What a beautiful list. I want to preface this too as well. I went about my list based off of what I did last week. So I know it's a week-to-week thing, Jeff, and we don't look ahead. I move mine around, and I will adjust. Listen, if a team looks that much better than the team that they both won, and I had one ahead, I will move them. But when teams are very similar, and if they look similar at that level, I didn't move them. So that's why I had the Buffalo Bills still at number 1, Jeff, was the Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Green Bay Packers. They just took care of business, in my opinion. And I didn't actually have that exact order last week. I actually had the Baltimore Ravens at number 3. So I had the Bills at 1, the Eagles at 2. I kept them the same. I think they both just took care of business. You can argue the Eagles could be 0-2, right? But they keep finding ways to win games, so you respect it. I did switch the Ravens and the Packers, Jeff. This is just one of those things. Listen, the Ravens did win this week.
Yeah.
They did. But the way the Packers won and how dominant this Packers team looks right now with their defense, that's what kind of scares me a little bit. I think this Packers team is legit. I almost wanted to put them ahead of the Eagles. I'm respecting the Eagles for them. I've had them ahead this whole time. But I think this Packers team is a legit football team. That defense is scary, so I kept them there. 4, obviously, the Ravens. They took care of business. I won't talk much about them. I had the Chargers at 5. I had them at 5 last week, Jeff. That's why I have them at 5. I already thought after week 1, their win over the Kansas City Chiefs, I thought was a massive win. And then last night, I thought them kind of dominating the Raiders. The Raiders were just never in the game. The only reason, like, you want to call a spade a spade? Did you stay up and watch that game?
Not the end of it. But
so I watched the third. I missed most of the fourth quarter, but I watched the third quarter. It was essentially 20-6 in the third quarter. And the Chargers went out there, Jeff, and had like a 7-minute drive, like a 7.5, 8-minute drive to go get a field goal. It's incredible, first of all. And then the Raiders ended up having like a 10-minute drive. And I heard Big Cat say today, and I thought the same exact thing last night. They basically turned a 2-possession game in an 8-minute drive, Jeff, when they're down 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. They turned a 2-possession game in an 8 to 10-minute drive into a 2-possession game. It was one of the most craziest. it was one of the most bizarre things where you take 10 minutes off the clock and you need 2 possessions and you're in the fourth quarter. And they literally just were like, let's just kick a field goal and keep it a 2-possession game instead of going for it on 4th down. It was insane. Pete Carroll, I don't know what was going through his mind. But the Chargers, if there wasn't those 10 possession or minute possessions, the 7-minute possessions, the Chargers would have won by like 3 or 4 scores because they were just dominating the Raiders. I think this Chargers team and this defense is legit. Like they look very good. Justin Herbert looks like the MVP Justin Herbert that people have talked about. He's making every single throw. The only negative about this team, and if they end up figuring this out, this team's going to go from 5, Jeff, and they're going to be Super Bowl contenders. It's if they figure out this run game with the Marion Hampton.
I agree.
If they figure that out, I'll tell you what, this team's going to be very good. And obviously, I think it's because of Rashawn Slater being out for the season, so they're not getting things going as much. But they just have to figure something out in that run game, and they'll move up, in my opinion. They'll be a very good team, and they're going to be Super Bowl contenders. At number 6, they were off my list last week, Jeff, and they have made the list for the second time for me because I did my preseason ones. They move all the way up to number 6. I think right now, the Detroit Lions, what you saw the Chicago Bears game, you finally got to see this offense again and got to see like, okay, this is what the Detroit Lions actually are. It was last week, felt like a one-off. It was versus the number 3 team in the NFL. You see there with the Packers. You finally got to see this team kind of at full force. And I think at full force, this is probably, as of right now, the 3rd best team in the NFC. And they're still a Super Bowl contender. Right, I have them right there. At 7, the Bucs. I don't know if you've. I guess we were doing the show last night when the Bucs played. Bucs are incredible too. I know they're playing close games. Me and you talked about it after the show yesterday. Like they're in close games. They just keep finding ways to win versus good teams. Like I don't think that Falcons team's bad that they beat, and I don't think this Houston team's that bad either. I think the Houston Texans are 0-2. I still think that's like at their best a playoff team. And they went head-to-head and beat them both. So I think this team's very, very good. That offense is incredible. Their defense is always good. The Rams are the Rams. They're about to go into a matchup versus the Eagles this week, Jeff. Both 2-0. You're going to find out a lot about the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday, so I'm excited to see that matchup. I don't know if you took the Chiefs out of your top 10. I'm interested to see if you did. Can I give you my point with this Kansas City Chiefs team? They're 0-2. They have a loss to 2 of my teams in the top 5 of my power rankings, with the Philadelphia Eagles at number 2 and the Los Angeles Chargers at number 5. In my opinion, and I know it's like a what if, or it's a scenario that didn't happen. I think the Chiefs could have very easily been 2-0. Like if you look at this game just the other day versus the Eagles, they lost by 3. Travis Kelce, just uncharacteristic drop in the end zone. It turns into an interception and then points for the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes misses a wide open, Tyquan Thornton, who was just wide open downfield, misses him. in my opinion, I still think this Chiefs is still. Honestly, I think they're a top 7 team in the NFL still. So I'm putting them at 9 just because I don't want people to be like an 0-2 team that high. They're missing Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, Jeff. And I know, again, we don't do projections. If they had Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, they would have beaten the Eagles and the Chargers. And there's no question about it. They would be 2-0 right now versus a win over the Eagles and the Chargers. So I still think this defense is – that defense with Spags, Jeff, if you watch it, incredible versus the Eagles. Incredible. The only reason the Eagles kept getting things was because of that tush push. And I can guarantee you that is banned after the league meetings after this season. And then versus the Chargers,
they already banned it, and they didn't.
Yeah, but I think they were only a couple votes. They were like 3 or 4 votes away. Like they were very, very close. And it feels like already after week 2, everyone in the world is being like there's announcers that are like, this is getting out of hand. Because I don't know if you saw, like some of these Eagles players, like they lined up like all offsides. They all had like false started, and the broadcast was pointing it out, and they're like, what's going on? Like, this is insane. And the refs aren't doing anything about it. So I think it does get banned because of that. So I just have them at 9. They're going to bounce back. They're going to be just fine. As soon as they get Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy back, they're going to start winning games. They're going to be in the playoffs. I don't know about the division. Chargers have kind of a pretty good hold on that right now. But then number 10, I have the Indianapolis Colts. I think you have to give the Colts credit, Jeff. I hope they're in your top 10. Right now, I don't know if you've seen these records that they're breaking. They're like the first team in NFL history to not punt through 2 weeks. So they're the first team in NFL history to score on the first 2 opening drives. Like, they are incredible offensively right now. And that defense, they have players all across this defense. Like this Colts team, I tried to tell people before the season started, like Klotz was a year late on this. And I came in this year and swooped it on the Colts and said, watch out for Danny Dimes in this Colts squad. They added secondary pieces. And then offensively, Jonathan Taylor looks good. They added Tyler Warren, and they have a quarterback in there that just plays solid football, man. Very solid football. This Colts team, it has to be in everyone's top 10 this week. So I love this Colts team. Man. They are, dude. And it's not like they're just beating bums. They beat the Broncos. And I know you could argue, well, they shouldn't have beat them because of the calls. They beat them still, though. And like that's a tough game, man. To even be in that game versus the Broncos and that defense and this offense to do what they've done, it's incredible. The fact that they didn't punt once versus the Broncos is insane on its own.
I will say the Chiefs. The only thing I really disagree is the Chiefs.
Which is fair. I figured people would. I just think that's still really good football. Like if they go up against any of these teams, like 7-10, I think they beat them.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing with the Chiefs right now, and people forget about this with Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady went a long time without winning a Super Bowl, and then he got back into it. He went on a run. They took a break. They were kind of retooled, reconstructed, and then they won more Super Bowls. I think that's what the Chiefs are kind of going through right now. Like I think they're not a great team. They're just not a good team. Like they're
the Chiefs?
Good. Yeah,
they are. They're a very good team. Offensively,
not really.
Have you watched any of their games?
Yes, I have.
Defensively, they're elite. Their defense is like elite right now. Offensively, they can't get anything going.
That's the problem. But that's
because they're down their number 1 and number 2 wide receiver.
Yes, but here's the thing with the Chiefs: they can't run the ball. They can't protect Mahomes. And by the time Rashee Rice comes back, I mean, you're 0-2 right now. They got to figure it out right now before Rashee Rice comes back. He's got like 7 weeks before he comes back. It's just if I'm a Chiefs fan, I would be a little concerned with them right now. They just they got to do some work, man. They got to bolster the offensive line. They traded away Tooney. They got the rookie tackle now, but yeah, it's just kind of. I think it's going to be a year or two before the Chiefs. You see them back in the Super Bowl kind of thing. That's what I think about. I think I was a little too high on them this offseason, to be honest.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. They're going to be in games.
They're a good football team. I think people
they're going to be in games because they have Mahomes and Andy Reid, but that shouldn't be.
That's where I disagree with you. Like that's why I was like, did you watch them play? Because the reason they're not winning games is because of Mahomes and Andy Reid right now. The only reason they've been in games is because of their defense so far, and that's where
defense gave up 30 points to the Chargers.
Yeah, but like the week 2 versus the Eagles, that defense, they would have gotten, if it wasn't for their defense, they would have never been in that game in week 2. Never.
Yeah, I agree, but I agree with that. But what I'm saying is because you have Mahomes, I know they haven't been playing well, but Mahomes and Andy Reid are always they're going to usually be in games, all right, because they're just in the defense. Spags too.
All right.
But
you could take them out of the top 10, and then next week when they win, you're going to be like, oh.
Just because they're in games and lose doesn't mean that like they still deserve to be in the top 10, in my opinion. Like just because they're not getting blown out.
I agree with you, but that's not the reasoning behind it. I still think they have I still think they're one of the better teams in football. They're a top 10 team.
And this is a week-to-week power ranking.
I don't take them out just because they are 0-2.
Remember, we do this week. We do it week to week, Boone. Remember? Could be, hey, things could change. Maybe they win 2 wins in a row, they're back. But let me show you mine. All right, let me show you mine right here. All right, let me show you mine, and then we can let me get this. All right, so there's Boone's top 10. My top 10 a little different. Let me see. Let me pull this up. All right, this is my top 10. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. All right, number 1, I agree. Buffalo Bills. They're the best team in the NFL right now. I don't think we both agree. There's not much arguing. I actually think the Packers should be over the Eagles. I think the Packers have looked better than the Eagles. They've, based on my top 10, they've destroyed 2 top 10 teams, and the Commanders and the Lions. So I think they need to be number 2, in my opinion. I think the Packers have earned it, and I hate doing it because we cover the Lions here, but I have to at least give them credit and say the Packers, they've looked better than the Eagles. The Eagles barely beat the Cowboys, and I know they beat the Chiefs, of course, but the Chiefs are 0-2, and based on what I think, and not maybe you are higher on the Chiefs, or you think they'll rebound, I wouldn't say that's a big, impressive win. I think they beat the Chiefs great, but the Eagles still got to figure out some issues, I think, especially with their passing game. It's a thing every single year. They're going to figure it out, win games, but I think the Packers have earned the nod over the Eagles, in my opinion. So I have the Eagles at 3, Packers at 2. Ravens and Chargers, I'm not going to disagree with you. Because I think the Ravens are a very good team. They deserve to be in the top 5. I think they're better than the Chargers. They played last year and the Ravens beat them. So I still think they're better than the Chargers, but the Chargers are moving up on my list. I really like the Chargers, man. They're a really good team. And you nailed it. If they can figure out the run game, the Chargers, it's going to be scary. They used the first-round pick in Amari Hampton, and they haven't really gotten anything out of him. I think Justin Herbert might lead the team in rushing, which is concerning. But if they get Amari and Hampton going, that O-line, I know they don't have Slater. I think the Chargers can be a very, very good team. So we'll see what happens there. Number 6, I have the Los Angeles Rams. I think the Rams deserve to be a little higher than you have them because I know the Rams, they beat the Titans pretty decisively. They beat the Texans in a kind of a close game. But their defense, dude, is so good. Their defense is so good. Their offense, like Matthew's been figuring it out with Devontae Adams. You see the connection there. And I just think overall the Rams look like a serious contender. They look dangerous. And I know Sean McVay just like tore his, I don't know, he had like a really bad injury on the sideline to his like foot or something. So he's going to be limping for the next long time. I don't know what the injury is exactly, but he's banged up. He's on IR. But Sean McVay's still going to be out there, and the Rams are still going to be dangerous. So I really like the Rams heading into the season, and I still really like them. So give me the Rams at number 6. Yeah, you got to give them credit there. I have them in front of the Bucs because I think the Bucs, they've won 2 close games. They had a fourth quarter comeback against the Texans, which I give Baker credit. I think he's very clutch. I think Baker's underrated. But they just haven't looked as – they have injuries, which obviously plays a part in this. They don't have Wirfs yet. They don't have Godwin yet. They lost the right tackle in the game. So I think the Bucs are going to get better as the season goes on, but they haven't quite looked like the Bucs that we all kind of initially thought coming into the season. They're still ironing things out. So I think you got to wait on the Bucs a little bit, but they are number 7. I have the Rams and the Bucs over the Lions because the Lions, to me, I think they're a top 10 team. I have them a top 8 team. I just wouldn't put them ahead of those 2 teams, A, because they're 2-0 and they had two performances that resulted in victories. And then B, the Lions still have that performance against the Packers, which was really bad. So I'm putting them behind the Bucs and Rams. I still think they're top 10, but I just got to see more. And I know that sounds lazy, but it's just the reality. I have to see a little more out of the Lions to put them ahead of those other teams. Number 9, I'm with you on the Colts. I actually am going to put the Colts 9 because I think the Colts have the way that Daniel Jones is playing. I don't know what to think, man. He's balling. And the way they played against the Broncos defense, I think deserves credit. I know you could argue they shouldn't have won that game, but they put up almost 30 points against the Broncos defense. And this Broncos defense, dude, is very, very, very good. So I have to give them credit for that as well. Like they put up a ton of points against a very good defense. They beat the Broncos I don't care how the fashion in which they beat them, they still beat them. And they beat the Dolphins decisively, which again, you could say it's the Dolphins, but they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, they put up 30-something points on a team that's not good. So we give the Lions credit for that. I give the Colts credit for that. They haven't punted. So the Colts look very good. Again, week to week power ranking. We'll see what happens as the season goes on. I don't know. I'm curious to see how that kind of progresses if they continue to play, not at that level, obviously, but still play at a good level. I don't know I hope the Colts don't fall off. We'll see what happens with Daniel Jones. But Shane Steichen seems to love him, and it's working there. So Jonathan Taylor's been really good. I have him in fantasy. I would know that. So the Colts deserve to be on that top 10 list. I have them a little higher than you do. I have them at 9. And I have the Commanders on this list because their loss is to the number 2 team in the NFL. That's why I have them there.
Jaden Daniels is out.
Yeah, but they were
week to week ranking, right?
Yeah, but week to week, as in like.
So who's their backup?
But he's questionable to play. He's questionable.
I think he's out.
Well, on fantasy, he's questionable. So I don't know. I'm going off the 2 weeks we've seen with these teams. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off of that. I mean, we could say like the Bucs injuries knocked him down, but the Bucs have been winning. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not really factoring in as much injuries. I'm just saying how the team's playing right now. Like, for example, I thought about the 49ers, to be honest. And I know Brock Purdy's out, but they're playing really well right now. They beat the Seahawks. Seahawks just beat the Steelers. And they're 2-0. But I didn't put the 49ers in here, but I wouldn't not put them in here because they don't have Brock Purdy. I'm just going off how the team's playing.
Like if this Sunday, like this is where I go with this. Like if this Sunday the Commanders and the Chiefs played football, I think the Chiefs would be favored and they would win the game. That's why I don't put the Commanders in my. We're not projecting. We're talking about this week. If they played each other like today, because we're not projecting. We're talking about like currently. If they played each other today, the Chiefs would beat the Washington Commanders the way they've played. Like they beat a New York Giants team in week 1 that looked terrible. I know the Giants week 2 looked good, but like it was a 1 possession game until the 4th quarter. And then they got a touchdown to end the game. Like they were in a battle with the Giants down the stretch. Like, I don't think this Commanders team is what they were last year, at least as of right now. And they haven't showed anything to me where it was like, hey, this Commanders team is a problem in the NFC. Like to me, it's like right now, if you're like, hey, who would you be more scared to play? It would be Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, in that defense that we saw week 2 with Spags versus the Eagles. Like what they did versus the Eagles, I'd be more scared of that than I would this Commanders team.
Yeah, but that where I'm coming from with it is I get that. I would probably have the Chiefs like 11 or 12 just outside the top 10. But I have to factor in what they've done. Like, you know, they're 1-1, one team's 0-2.
Yeah, but like, they beat the Giants again. Like the Chiefs played your number 3 and your number 5
the Lions
team.
beat the Bears,
and it was a 1 possession game where they were about to beat.
But the
both
Lions
of them.
beat the Bears, and they're right in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to. What are we doing?
Yeah, no, I agree. But the Lions put up a 50 piece, and they like looked legit. Like week 1 obviously was kind of an off week for them.
I mean,
but
the Rams beat the Titans. Like we have to still look at it like.
And that's why I didn't move the Rams up at all.
Well,
you did. I did not.
10, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the Rams are good. They're one of the better 2-0 teams. Like that, you do respect the winning of it 100%. But when you get down to like the bottom half of it, where it's like 1-1, just to me, I'm just more so rolling. And we don't have to keep arguing about this. It's a pointless argument because there's going to be no ending to it. I just would like if you match them up, let's say Thursday night football in 2 nights, Chiefs are winning that football game right now.
Yeah, but I'm not ranking off like if the Chiefs are 0-5, I can't keep being like
that's fine. Yeah, no, we can move on.
You know
we don't need to go back and forth. We're never going to get anywhere with it.
I'm just going off the record and factoring in that as well. So I'm giving the edge to a 1-1 team that lost to the number 2 team in the NFL. That's how I look at it. So if you disagree with it, it's fine. But Jaden Daniels, we'll see. He's questionable. I don't know if he's out. If he's been ruled out already. I haven't seen anything with it. I should know that because he's starting in my league. But I have the Commanders here. So I think I thought about different teams to put at 10, decided to go with the Commanders. But that's my top 10 list. And we'll see if the Lions beat the Ravens, they could jump significantly higher on this list. You know, this is how it goes. So we'll see. They're facing a number 4 team, but there's our power rankings. And Daniel, apparently, I don't know if Daniel's like, were you being serious about that? Is he actually?
I believe he's out this week. He has like a knee issue. I don't see why they would play him. They're playing the Raiders. I don't see why they would if it's a knee issue. You have Marcus Mariota. I'm pretty sure.
It says he's day to day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw something today. And Marcus Mariota potentially could be starting for them.
Yeah,
look it up.
Yeah, on here it says he's day to day. I picked up Jared Goff in fantasy just in case, but that's good actually. If it's day to day, that's positive. I hope he's not. It says a knee sprain, so that's not bad.
I mean, if I was them, I probably would just sit him versus the Raiders and let Marcus Mariota go out there.
They could probably win
just to get healthy. Yeah, they might not, but you have a better chance of winning versus them than getting your quarterback, injured a little bit more or putting pressure on that.
Cartier says, question for Jeff and Boone. Is there any dark horse team outside the top 10 you see making noise this season?
Well, for me, obviously the Commanders. I don't have them in my top 10. That's a good question. So I'm just going to go through divisions real quick. So not the Dolphins, Patriots, or Jets. Bengals, Browns, Steelers should be 2-0. That whole situation with that Steelers team. I do like the Steelers team actually, Jeff.
Yeah, they were in my top 10 last week.
Yeah, they shouldn't have lost. It was a tough one. I probably would have had them at 10 actually over the Chiefs if they would have won that game because I don't think they're that bad of a team. Colts, Jags aren't bad either.
No, they're not. They're not bad. I don't know. It depends. I mean, I see someone put the 49ers. I mean, we agree with that. We've said the 49ers, if they get healthy, would be a team that you don't want to face in the playoffs.
Broncos,
yeah, they're kind of. I don't know what's going on with the Broncos. Their
offense just looks a little
the
iffy
offense,
right
yeah,
now.
which is it's taken some time to kind of get back to what they were last year, but
for sure,
I think the Broncos are a good one. And Boy wants us the Falcons are my dark horse team. Don't judge me. Falcons have just been in game. Like they beat the Vikings, man. I know, like say what you want. I mean, I know JJ didn't look good, but still the Falcons, they're not a bad team either, man. They could sneak into the playoffs too.
They'll be in a lot of games this year. It's depend on if they finish them.
Yeah. Peaceful Tim says Broncos missing Morton.
The offense is struggling a little bit. They did actually lose quite a bit of offensive coaches.
Yeah, they lost one to Chicago, another one.
Chicago's OC came from the Denver Broncos as well. So essentially the Broncos offensive staff last year produced 2 offensive coordinators for this season.
Yeah, they still have Sean Payton, so I think they'll be.
Yeah, but either way though, the offense, I feel like I don't know. I guess they did put up like 30 points this week, did they not?
Yeah, their defense really let them down against the Colts,
and it was the opposite. I feel like it was the opposite before. They won week 1, but they only put up 20 points, and their defense held the Titans to 12. And then this week they gave up 28 or 29.
Nick P says the Jags are about to be 1-6 or 1-7. Look at that schedule, brutal. Yeah,
What's their schedule?
By the way, I don't know what's going on with Travis Hunter. He hasn't really been.
No, did you see what actually? Did you see what happened Sunday?
At corner playing.
Yeah, did you see what happened the last play of the game?
I think he's a natural corner to be honest.
He had the game-winning pass break up to win it, and they called a flag. It wasn't a flag. If you watch it back, they lost the game because of it. It was not a flag. Like they shouldn't have thrown the flag. And I heard John Gruden talked about it, and he was like, I'm kind of tired of like the NFL refs just throwing flags on the last play of games to end games. He was like, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. Just let them play. You know what I mean? He was like, it's ridiculous. The fact I think there was like 2 or 3 games this weekend, and then there was a handful in college to where they was just decided by the refs. Like the Colts should have lost. There was that flag that was like just a ridiculous flag on the field goal unit.
Wilson says, Jeff, you do realize corners have to tackle, right? I don't know. Is that reference to Travis Hunter?
No, I think maybe it is. Maybe it's a TA. I don't know. People are saying stuff about TA in the chat. So.
Oh, maybe Wilson's delayed. Yeah. Oh, Hunter trying to tackle he's talking about Travis. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. He tried to tackle Demo. Yeah, no, it would be a disaster. But he is a more natural corner, I've noted. I watched him at Colorado. I didn't watch him in like high school, but watching him at Colorado, he was just a better corner. And he's just a naturally gifted wide receiver, but
for sure.
Technically, all the skill set he has, he seems like he'd just be a much better corner. I don't know. He hasn't really been doing much as a receiver for the Jags. I don't know how much they're really using him, but yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. All right, let's get to Mailbag. We got some questions already coming in here. Let's see. Rando, Mailbag with what we saw in the first game, and granted, they improved, but do you guys think Brad should prioritize drafting Deckers and Goffs or future replacements Decker, I don't think you should worry about Goff's future replacement right now, but Decker, yes. They got to find another left tackle on a rookie deal for sure. They got to get cheaper.
The Decker thing, the left tackle, they could have got Josh Simmons, who's been great in Kansas City. They could have got him.
Yeah, he's been so good for Kansas City. He's been really good. I bet
you this next year it's a tackle in the first round. My guess would be.
I wouldn't be shocked. Let's see. Peaceful Tim Mailbag. How many interceptions does TA need in order to erase those stats you referenced earlier? To be honest, this is what I think about interceptions for a corner. I think it's great. Like if they get picks, if they get turnovers, that's awesome. But if you have a corner that doesn't really get a lot of interceptions and he's just a very, very good lockdown corner, I'd rather have that, honestly. I don't really care if my corner's getting interceptions. If he's not getting targeted, I'm happy. So if you have a corner, like it's like the Trevon Diggs. Remember Trevon Diggs had like 14 picks in a season, but he was giving up 1,000 yards on the year.
Yeah, he was he had like the most yards given up.
It's like because you're jumping routes, you're trying to be aggressive, you're trying to make plays. Like I don't know. I wouldn't. If I had a preference, I'd rather my corner not lead the team in picks. I'd rather him.
Yeah.
Unless you do both, like Prime. Like Prime was locked down and got picks. I mean, unless you're like Deion Sanders, then that's a whole nother thing. But like Darrelle Revis didn't have to lead he wasn't up there in picks like that. I mean, he had I think his highest was like 4 or 5 picks in a season, but he was always just Darrelle Revis was just locked down. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to get a bunch of picks to know how good Darrelle Revis was. So I would rather do that personally. Got a boy Juan Mailbag. How confident are you guys that we beat the Ravens?
I mean, the Lions are 5-point underdogs, so it's not like 100% they're going to beat them. I would just say it's right in the middle. I think it's going to be a good football game, to be honest. I said it on Monday. Like I'm not going to be mad if they drop this game because you're on the road versus Super Bowl contender. I just want to make sure you have to be in there and compete. Like you just can't go in there and lose by multiple touchdowns. You have to go in there and in the fourth quarter, it's got to be a 1-possession game and give yourself a chance to win that game.
I agree with that. You just you got to be in that game. I think they can beat the Ravens. I think they have to just be in the game though. You got to
give yourself a chance. That's
it. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is one of those games where the Ravens win like 40 to, like 38 to 21 or something. It's like, dude, you can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. So just be in the game. It's not. I don't want this. And like already at halftime, we're like sweating. We're like, oh, here we go.
No, you just have to be in the game. Just compete at the end of the day. It's really the first Super Bowl. I guess the Packers, but man,
Justin says, how do you think Tyreek played in the second game, boys? I thought as a run defender, he actually had a better game. Against the Packers. I thought he had a better game against the Packers.
But I got to Caleb Williams a couple times though.
But I said as a pass rusher, he was having a little more success against the Bears. He's someone that I'm not as worried about. I think Tyreek's shown some good things. They were kind of getting other guys in there too. Like DJ Reader was coming out and Roy Lopez was going in. I don't know what was going on with that. But
yeah, the Roy Lopez snap count was interesting. He played 30 something. He played more snaps than Tyreek and DJ Reader. And
I don't know if that's directly correlated to the run defense not being like as great as it's been. I don't know if it's not all Roy Lopez, but I'm not worried about Tyreek at this point. He's been he's a rookie, man, and he's not been a liability. So that's all I ask from him. You know what I'm saying? He's been solid. Peaceful Tim Mailbag. Whose jersey is Jeff wearing to bed tonight? Love to know his favorite one.
Do you wear jerseys to bed? I didn't know that, man.
Maybe I'll whip out the Killian Hayes jersey, Peaceful Tim.
Oh, man, this guy.
Maybe I'll whip out the Killian Hayes jersey. Does that sound good? Maybe I'll do the Killian Hayes tonight.
He's folding up the Caleb Williams one for the night.
Yeah, that one's going in the closet for the foreseeable future. We're coming. We're whipping out the Killian Hayes one tonight.
What color? Caleb Williams one do you have? Is it their blue? Their home?
Okay. No, I'm not. No, we're not doing this. We're not.
You said you're putting it away.
No, I'm kidding. I don't have a Caleb Williams jersey. We're not. This narrative is not.
Oh, so you just had like one of those T-shirt ones? Okay.
No, not the jersey. No, not the jersey. I'm not. By the way, I don't wear jerseys to bed. Chat. All right, chill out. We're not. It was a joke. All right, that's crazy. This
guy's got a Ben Johnson, North Carolina jersey.
No, that's crazy work if someone's wearing a jersey. with no pants on to bed. That's crazy work. We're not doing that. No. Killian Hayes, though, might consider it. Prince, Mailbag, how worried are you guys about facing the Ravens? I'm not too worried. I say on a scale, I'm more
excited,
intrigued.
to be honest.
Yeah, I'm more intrigued. I just want to see how they match up. I wouldn't say I'm worried.
I do think it's crazy. 5.5 point underdogs that feels like a lot. It does.
Yeah.
I want to take that 5.5. I feel like it's going to be a field goal game.
That means the Ravens would be probably favored at Ford Field by like 2.5. Like 2.5.
It's usually like a 3. It's usually like a 3 point difference.
Yeah, which I don't know. Hey Hanch, don't worry, Hanch. I'll get to that one. Hey Hanch, don't worry, I'll get to you, my man. Don't worry, we're gonna address it.
Oh, that's a tough one, dude.
Nick P. Mailbag, I hate watching John Campbell play. He already looks elite. Do you think Brad may regret that decision? I mean, this is a thing I don't like doing necessarily. Is I think it's fair sometimes to be like, oh man, you could have had this player. I think we can have that conversation, but
there's so many players in the draft that you could do.
Yeah, there's so many guys like Nick P. Did we think Jahad Campbell is going to be really good? We did. It's. I wouldn't say Brad. Just depends, man. Like if Tyreek becomes this like elite defensive tackle, no, he's not going to regret it.
You're not going to be mad at that point. You're going to be like,
yeah. We just have to see what Tyreek becomes, and then we can start doing the hindsight 2020 thing. But yeah,
would it have been nice? 100%. But it's now you're sitting there, you're rolling with like who's playing your defensive tackle right now at that point,
right?
Let's
see. Shout out Isaac, man. Guys, just got on late, but I'll listen to the rest tomorrow. Much love, Isaac. We appreciate
Shout out
you,
Isaac, man.
Appreciate you, brother. T says, "What Mailbag? What's with the signings of all these Ravens players?"
I thought we just got one Ravens player. Who else did we get?
I thought so too. Was the tight end a former Raven? Maybe.
I doubt he was with the 49ers previously. He maybe at some point in his career he was with the Ravens. I don't think it's like a coincidence. I know a lot of people today were like, and you did it too, Jeff. Oh, they're bringing him in to get prepared for the Ravens. Like, I think
he will do that though.
I think he will, but I think they were going to sign him. Like, even if they didn't have the Ravens this week, I think there was a chance Malik Cunningham, because he worked out with them a couple weeks ago. That now, if he gets cut like next week and he never gets brought back, then yes, I will be like, yeah, boys, you were right. You're right, Jeff.
Let's see here. Purple Prince Mailbag. Do you think we see a trick play this week, or was that more of a Ben thing?
I don't know. It was weird. Maybe once they get more comfortable going and this offense gets rolling a little bit more, you start to see a few more trick plays, or you actually get to see one. But I don't know. I think I don't know about this week, especially versus the Ravens. I think you got to be solid. Maybe they do though. Like a hook and ladder again. I've been waiting for that to come back.
Maybe Johnny Moe does have a little trick play up his sleeve. I don't know. I don't think it'll be the volume that Ben did it, because Johnny Moe's a little more old school, but I would be shocked he pulls on a trick play at some point. Maybe the Ravens would be a good one to do it on. Maybe you get to see Jahmyr Gibbs in the slot and Demo in the backfield. Maybe we get to see some of that against the Ravens. Like mix it up a little bit, but we'll see.
Wildcat that we saw in training camp.
Hunch. My guy. Mailbag, how crazy is it that Boone didn't share the winning bet with you yesterday, Jeff? Listen, Hunch.
All right.
Boone's side of it was, there's just so many parlays. I don't want to send all of them. Boone sent me the losers, so I think there's got to be. I sent you
one.
Then we made one together for the next game, and it lost.
Dude, I mean, we have to have this conversation. Me and we talked about it today before the show.
Hanch, just hit my line directly, Hanch.
Yeah, just hit Jeff up. We got we'll make like a group chat with some for betting. Because Hanch does hit, dude. He on Sunday, Hanch texted me. It's Logan. He texted me, and he hit 2 touchdown parlays on Sunday, 2 of them in one day. And there were like legit like receivers in there, running backs in there, like legit touchdown parlays. So, well, we'll connect everyone so you can get the parlays. Because the thing is I put his on, I made my own, I made a couple of my own, and then I have 2 or 3 parlays rolling. It's like, which one do I send Jeff? I can't send all 3. I know you. You're not going to put all 3 on. So in my mind, I'm like, which one do I know Jeff will take? And
I respect that.
I sent you the one that was a 6-legger. because you like a little bit long. I know sometimes you like shorter odds, but like, I was like, this feels like a Jeff parlay.
It was a Jeff parlay, to be fair.
Yeah, and it just Tyler Conklin, dude. It's disrespectful. But who's
they're
the
not
OC?
giving
Who's the OC in Los Angeles?
It is the former OC of the Ravens.
The Ravens. It's disrespectful. Conklin's just not in the game plan yesterday. The man had 60 yards week one. Greg Roman, yeah. I think he was in Michigan at one point. But he had like 60 yards week one, and he got 0 targets week 2. I don't know. I told you, I said next time we see Conklin, I was like, I gotta ask him like that. I'm off the record, like, dude, that has to be like one of the most frustrating things in the world, going off for 60 yards and then week 2 just not getting in. You're not in the game plan. Like, he just wasn't in the game plan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw him run a route. Like, I just don't know if they had him on the field for any pass plays. Dude, that has to be frustrating. I'm gonna ask him. I'm interested to hear what he says too.
Mitch, by the way, Mitch, I'll get to that. I love that question. Xavier Mailbag, can we get a poll this week to pick entrance music for Sam Flannel's segment on Fridays? We do need
It has to be
another entrance, like,
yes, but it has to be
copyright.
Yes, copyright free,
because we can't play actual.
We've
music.
gotten hit with some copyrights from some of the sound bites we play,
yeah.
not knowing. Even the ones that like Klotz would like send some and be like, "You won't get copyrighted, boys," and then we send them, and then it's like, "Oh, we got copyright."
Let's see. Steve says, Mailbag, if this game isn't where they bust out the 2-back sets, then honestly, when is the right game? I mean, yeah, you're right.
Sure.
You're right about that, Steve. Hopefully it is this week. It'd be the best game to use that. Get a boy Wad Mailbag. Who is one player that you guys thought we missed out on in a draft that ended up being a bust? Mine, I can think of.
Oh, I know exactly who yours is.
Who?
Forbes or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, no, it was Emmanuel.
Emmanuel Forbes. That might have been one of your biggest swings and misses of all time.
Because at Mississippi State, he led the SEC in pick sixes for like 2 years. He was a dog. And then in the league, he's too skinny.
He's so small, dude. Like, they were like pictures of him at camp, and it's like, this guy's playing NFL.
And I had a buddy that went to Mississippi State. He's texting me. He's like, dude, this guy is a dog.
You did not stop talking about him that offseason. Like, every show, I felt like it was like Emmanuel Forbes.
I had Adam convinced. Adam was like, duh, dude, he's going to be really.
Dude, he was so bad. He's been on like 14. I don't even think he's on a roster right now. Practicing.
No,
I think he might be out of the league. You wanted him in the first round. He's out of the league.
No. The second round.
If they've drafted him in the first round, you would have been like,
I always had him in the second round. I was like, this is a great value corner in the second round. And then he just turned.
Dude, is he even on his squad right now?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
That's so tough, dude.
He's on the
Rams. He's with the Rams. Did he play?
Yeah, he did. He has a pass
deflection. What'd you say?
He has a pass deflection.
Yeah, he has 3 tackles in each game.
Shut up.
So he's out there playing, man. Etienne's real quiet. He's one of the Rams starting corners.
Oh, hey, let's go.
And you talked about you had them ranked as high as they did because of their defense. That's their corner. Oh,
no, it's because he's on that. He's the starting corner now.
Oh no, I don't even know who a guy like that would be for me because I don't know. A player that I didn't want him for the Lions, but one of my big swing and misses was Will Levis. I still have faith in him when he gets healthy. I thought Will Levis his arm was crazy, dude. Shout out Mitch too, by the way. SVSU.
Yeah, absolute dog. Look at the pitcher, dude.
He golfed at SVSU the same time I went there. It's my guy.
Hey, Mitch, I need help, brother. I just got.
Yeah, we can set something up and go play with him. He'll teach us.
I need help, brother. I need you to show me some things here, Mitch. Mailbag, is Justin Tucker not being on the Ravens the key to us winning? He made 2 60+ yard field goals in under a minute to go.
He did, dude. That was heartbreaking, man.
Beat us. Yeah, I mean it could be a factor not having Justin Tucker hit a 70-yarder to win the game. Certainly. So I think that plays a role in there. It's crazy. Justin Tucker is not in the league. Yeah, what an idiot, man. If he's proven guilty, I don't know. Is he proven guilty yet? I don't know. I don't
know what's going on with that situation.
The allegations are tough.
Those situations I just try and stay far away from.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Let those things work out, and what happens.
Appreciate you all. We'll be back tomorrow. 2 special guests. We got Ravens, host of Locked On Ravens, joining us, and we have the Doc, John Macaroon, joining us tomorrow. Be there. It's going to be a packed show. hit the subscribe button. We're 100 and something away from 15,000, which is massive. Get your merchandise, officialctsports.com, and hit the like button on the way out. We appreciate you all, and we will catch you tomorrow.
Love you guys.
Peace.